Feedback, Fred. Oh, it's dark in here. Need some lights. Wow. There we go. There we are. How's it going, everyone? Already, hey, yes, sir. Nice to see you all once again. Thanks for coming by, everybody. Feedback, Fred. How's it going, my friend? Peter Benton's in the house. Gate Smashers in the house. A bit too fast there. It's the Late Show. Yes. Well, I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC. No, I'm not. Wouldn't it be fun, though? I'd love to have his job, boy. Gosh, you used to embarrass those people, eh? Ever see that show with Chris Hansen? Anyways, I won't get into it. It's a funny show where people go to see kids. Gate Smasher, I'm here early tonight, got my chores done, and ate my bacon. I'm ready. I'm fast. I know. Say your jokes if you want. I can fast for a year and I won't die. I get it. But that's what's up. I even like looking at the fake strips of bacon online like that. It gets me even hungry. Peter, how's it going, my brother? Let's do this. Let's rock. I always get hyped when you guys are here. Good thing you keep coming back, because if not, I would totally not be hyped anymore. Definitely. Crypto Ed's in the house. From Socialist, British Columbia, Vancouver Island in Canada. I love you guys. I got family down there. Don't ask me what town they live in. I don't even know. You know, those family members that you've had all your life that you never get the chance to see because they live too far. But thanks for watching. Always a pleasure having someone from Canada join the channel, because it took a long time for me to get Canadians here. It took a really long time to get Canadian people interested in the channel, but it's not big. It has nothing to do with getting them interested. It's that my channel didn't get out to anyone. It got out to a lot of Americans at the beginning. It took a while for Canada to come in. Thanks again. Andrew Nightingale, thank you so much. Hello, Bruce. When you start? Right now, my friend. Right now. I'm never too long. Usually 8:05 is usually my time. And I also stream at 1 in the afternoon for those just arriving, if any of you did not know. Thanks so much. Starlink, isn't it interesting? Well, what we know about Starlink is that there's a lot of, hey, Truth Mirage. Whoop. Oh, yes. Was that bacon? Hot dogs? Bacon. There he goes again. And get me hungry. Yeah. Starlink Gate Smasher. Thanks, Truth Mirage, for coming in. Thanks to all new subscribers and to just curious people coming by to see what the channel's like, what the community is like. This is the place to start if ever you want to see if you like my channel or not, because we have some amazing people here. It's always the same good people that come back. 99% of the good people come back all the time, so that's really cool. So Starlink is worried. Elon Musk, I saw him talk for the first time yesterday, Gate Smasher. It was yesterday, maybe it was before that he talked, but I saw him talk about a concern he had with some Starlink satellites. Obviously, I guess the ones that would be directed to support, cable, internet, and telephone, and everything to Ukraine. Obviously, with the war, they're going to be worried about that. So they're afraid that Putin is going to target those Starlink satellites. But we have 40 satellites down. That's the last time I was here. That's what we talked about. 40 out of 49 satellites that were, I guess, decommissioned. No, I'm sorry. They came down in orbit that were supposed to crash or have crashed. But that was supposed to be because of a geomagnetic storm on the sun, because the sun is very aggressive too. I filmed the sun, Peter, this morning. I didn't get a chance to look at the footage, but it was more aggressive. It's starting to get back up to being aggressive. Again, you see my eyes. I'm all happy. I'm not happy that the sun's aggressive, but I'm happy to witness, because I'm expecting a big sort of Carrington event to happen on the sun. Like, I'd love to go back to Carrington, the Carrington event. And for those who don't know, the 1800s, the end of the 1800s, there was a large coronal mass ejection, very large solar coronal hole, and it blew so much radiation to Earth. Auroras were all around the world, actually from north to south. And a lot of people on the telegraph lines got killed and electrocuted. The surcharging of objects that were even off. Anyways, long story short, that's what's happening now. But they're actually debating whether the solar cycle 25 is going to be much more aggressive. Last 100 years, solar cycle 24, like all the time that we've been alive, anyways, for sure, everyone that's here presently, we've seen apparently a sun that was at its minimum throughout history. It was the least active cycle with cycle 24 right before this one. Now cycle 25, they don't know if it's going to be a lot more aggressive or if it's going to be pretty similar to cycle 24. Apparently they were similar when they started off, which I don't understand, because now it's not similar anymore. There's so many sunspots. I started filming 2862 as a sunspot. Now I think they're up to 2960 or something like that. So there's been hundreds of sunspots. Hey, Sally. Hello to you. Thanks for coming in. Victory in the house. Thanks a lot, you guys and gals, for being members, for taking the time. I really appreciate that. Love you guys for it. Thank you very much, Victory. My friend, I am Kai, is in the house. We love you too, my friend Kai. Thanks for being here, brother. Tony D, how's it going, man? Nice to see you again, too. I love you guys for taking the time to come and listen to me yak about what's going on. But you know what? I think it's an interesting time in life around the world that there's so many subjects that we can talk about. We can talk about the volcanoes. We can talk about, there's even some that I'm not even seeing or not even remembering. Mount Etna erupted also. And it's like they talk about it for a day or two and then whoops, they like stop talking about it, right? Christopher Rollins, thanks for coming in, man. Hey, Darla. Thanks for coming in, guys. Trish Killian, thanks, you guys. Holy cow, I made a live stream. Yes. Thanks, you guys. Trish Killian. And thanks again for being a member. My friends, I really appreciate the amazing support to the channel. Thanks again, Feedback Fred. Always the same good people that come on in. Yes, sir, Tony Brooks. Doing good, my friend, doing good. I went outside. Thank you very much, Sally. Jackson, Tennessee, welcome. My friends from Tennessee, hold the line. You guys got a line going down in the States. They're already entering Washington, D.C., the People's Convoy. And like I said a couple of streams ago and last stream, I'm happy, proud of you guys in America for doing so. And we're all doing so around the world, eh? I don't know if you guys are actually looking in Prague, Prague. Yes, not many names that we don't always talk about. The people protesting there by the millions or hundreds of thousands. It's incredible. The people that are coming together to end mandates, etc. I think the 14th here, I heard only yesterday that apparently they're going to end, but I don't think people are still happy for that. We're going to have to wait another month to have the masks. It's really control. Thank you, Gate Smasher. Appreciate that. But Starlink wants to launch another 4,800 satellites or 4,000, almost 5,000 satellites. So if they're going to be all shot down by Russia, so how long is this war going to delay the satellite launches, right? 2024, they're supposed to go to the moon, and the war starts out in 2022. My gosh, do you realize what that could mean? Imagine, I don't want to be like, what's that girl's name in Saturday Night Live a long time ago? Kelly Downer. She talks about negative things all the time. I feel like her sometimes because there's so much going on. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but there's lots going on around the world. And a lot of people are saying, listen, it's a diversion too. You know, a couple of you here are talking about that. Yes, I believe it's a diversion in Ukraine, what's going on. Take the eyes away off the COVID, etc. But it's still an extra thing that's going on over the bloody COVID, and it really pisses me off. But yeah, they're probably trying to divert people from protesting, but would they actually take out cities to divert us? I mean, it's drastic what's going on. And of course, some people are seeing the videos and saying, well, you know, it's a bunch of lies. It could be a bunch of lies. If we're visually seeing cities being, anyways, we can't really talk about that, I bet you. But it makes you wonder about what's going on, you know. It's like a couple of you have said here, the media is definitely lying to us. They were bought out. Media in Russia is owned by Russian oligarchs. They bought it out. It's not even hidden. They even admitted it. Here too, it's the same. We have the elites that own the media, and to the point, I don't want to repeat what I was saying, but anyways, you guys know it. Zucker, who resigned from CNN, that guy was there to take down Trump, and whether I appreciate Trump or not, it's besides the fact is that they're not sharing news. They're sharing lies about the perception of people, trying to change the way people think of things. It was really scary watching MSNBC, CNN, all these liars, CBC, seeing what they're saying. Like we're seeing at a protest in Ottawa, people filming people having barbecues and having fun. And here CBC's turning around saying that it's the opposite, but never showing the proof, never really showing the proof, because there was not a lot of aggressivity there at all in Ottawa. That's for sure. Thanks a lot. Thanks again, you guys. Gail, how's it going? Yes. Peace, my friend. Peace to each and every one of you, because that's what we need, is the peace. If we can get over the hill of the COVID, guys, that's why the elites are mad. Alex Jones said it. A lot of truth seekers said it. A lot of you said it too, that after that, if we combat the COVID like we did, actually, because a lot of people got exposed for lying and hiding data. It's all coming out, eh? They're all going to court. It's just going to take a year or so for it to come out, but they're already getting caught. But because of that, they're going to retaliate. It was supposed to be climate change lockdowns. That's coming, by the way. You got to prepare for that. There'll be, if the grid goes out or whatnot, we'll not know if it's the sun or not, right? Who knows? It could be a missile for all we know, and they'll say it's the sun. So, Crypto Ed, thanks again. Tommy, thanks for being here, man. Thanks, Tommy. Connie's in the house. VC, thanks for coming back, guys. Katarina Kitty, hello, welcome. Nice to see you guys. Hello to you. Hello from Montreal, Quebec. We have some cold weather. Yesterday was really cold. This afternoon too was also very cold. Sunday we're supposed to get a lot of freezing rain or some type of storm, I guess, that's supposed to come down from Colorado. Actually, you guys, naughty guys in Colorado, sending us your precipitation. We're gonna get a lot of crap Sunday, so it's also March 5th, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. No. Actually, March 6th. But March 5th, there'll be a lot of people in Ottawa there protesting to on foot Million Man March. There'll be a lot of people there. Girls from Texas, they're cool. Something's going on with the moon tonight, right? Well, what happened is, and correct me if I'm wrong, anyone, but there's the supposed Chinese rocket that hit the moon. If I'm not mistaken, I think I heard that it would have hit in the morning, but yet there were live streams that were watching and waiting for the confirmation. So I guess, and don't depend on me, but depend on me about the rocket. Yes, it was definitely a Chinese rocket. And give me a second, guys. Gotta protect my land against the kids. You gotta love the kids. Yeah, well, that's what's going on the moon tonight, because excuse me, for me here, the moon tonight is a hairline moon. I did film it after the stream. I went outside just before sunset, and the moon was still in the sky, and there was still some light in the sky, a lot of dark clouds rolling in. I was able to film the moon. You're going to see it's literally just a fingernail, a hairline that you can see of a moon. So they said that we to see the impact, no telescopes or anything from Earth, because supposedly it was going to hit, or did hit, the dark side of the moon. It hit it fast. I know Simon CE5 Circle said it was a bit faster than I had seen, but I had seen 5,800 miles an hour, or close to 9,000 kilometers an hour. An object more than 3 tons, almost 4 tons, would have hit in the dark on the dark side of the moon. They were talking about a crater, possibly 60, 70 feet that would form. They said that there's definitely now a crater uh, if it impacted, but there's still no confirmation of anyone that I've heard so far that can confirm that they actually saw it. Andrew, you always have an easy approach. Don't change and keep. Hey, thank you very much, Andrew. I appreciate that, man. It's because I'm not trying to go out of my intelligence range, right? I'm no genius. I have a lot of good theories now, and I am doing a lot of studying. I've been studying astronomy like you all, researching it a lot, actually, to try to understand everything. It's more complex than we think, but I try to show the visual proof and theories and reality. I could be wrong also about my theories, but thanks for appreciating it. Try to do it in a way where, like you said, an easy approach to make people understand and sound interesting, you know? I mean, I'm filming in the sun. Am I going to do like all the channels? They put up all these readings, the radius. They put up the Carrington rotation. They put up everything to look professional and stuff. In reality, we're looking at a sun that science itself is a theory. They don't know themselves what the hell the sun is. I'll be honest with you. They're looking for the first time very recently in the past few months, maybe few months, looking at the atmosphere around the moon. They're looking to see if gravity exists. Gravity is a theory too, in reality, right? I mean, everything that they talked about, it doesn't mean it is so. E doesn't necessarily equal MC squared. I don't think so. He was a bit off on the amount of joules that energy is equal to. We saw that by the nuclear bombs and Hiroshima and everything, where they overthrew the reach of those bombs. So the pilot said. We're still alive, by the way. Launching more, just put more into orbit yesterday. Holy crap. Are you serious, eh? I don't understand how or what. Well, Gate Smasher, maybe that's why Elon Musk said that they're going to aim for the satellites. So do you remember when they said there were 40 satellites that went down out of the 49? I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of phone problems, like real phone problems, where I had to call 5 or 6 times or 4 or 5 times when I was trying to call out because the numbers were busy and it just wasn't working. I wasn't hearing calls coming in, having problems with the internet being slow. Maybe some of those satellites can have something to do, obviously. Hi, Julie. The stats in the house. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thanks, mods. Thanks, everybody. Chicken Yard Productions, Chemtrails, and New Overcast here in Christchurch, New Zealand. How are you guys doing in New Zealand? Thanks a lot for coming in from New Zealand. That's amazing when I get people from New Zealand coming in. Yeah, we had a lot of chemtrails here this week and last week, right here near Montreal. It was pretty bad. And yeah, Carrington could convert many to Amish. Yes. It's very true what you said, Truth Mirage. Yeah, Truth Mirage. No, that's definitely to live. Actually, that's sort of that's actually on my bucket list. I want to live where there's no electricity. Of course, I need the internet, right? But as for a minimum of maybe a solar panel or two to have enough for the internet, I don't watch television or cable. I just make the videos and I look up and research and stuff. So, but yeah, it's smart. And they're the ones that aren't going to feel anything, the Truth Mirage, once the grid goes down. For them, aside from, of course, having problems, obviously, when they go, I know some of them go buy eggs. I used to work at a Bonnie Best egg company when I was a lot younger, really younger. And it was hard work working on the docks, on lifts and stuff. We had good salary considering we're on the docks, right? But there was both Amish and Jewish people that used to come and buy their eggs. Of course, they have farms, they grow their eggs, but a lot of them sometimes did come and buy from Bonnie Best, and they would bless each egg, and they would come and he would, the Jewish man, you'd see him, back and forth, and he with his a prayer book, and he would pray and bless each and every egg that was coming off the production line. So he had to be there ahead of time. He was the only customer that was allowed to be beside me. He was beside me, but he wasn't there, guys. They don't interact with us at all, actually. He was just praying over the eggs before he went to the bathroom, and he did that weird ritual with his hands I'd rather not talk about. And when he came back, he must have been there for, it's an 8-hour shift. He was there my whole shift. The whole shift I was there, he did not go to the bathroom. I went to lunch, came back, went to the first break, last break, came back. At the end of the shift, then he went to the bathroom. But like I said, he had to do a ritual with his hands and stuff like that. It was cool, actually. We're all watching him in the bathroom. It was really weird. But I was sad that they weren't talking to us. No, I wasn't watching him peeing. I was watching him wash his hands, because he prays also when he washes his hands. It's just another culture that we were really young, and we were trying to understand what the hell was going on, actually. Who are these people? The Amish people, which is so interesting. The videos online, you see how the Amish people live, eh? They live very, very family lives. They're together. They interact together. They work on farms and stuff, and they grow their own foods and gardens and stuff. And they spend the evenings together, doing everything together in families and stuff. Like we do when there's no electricity here, because it does come down to that. When there's no electricity, we're going to be living like the Amish, definitely. That's true what I told you about. They used to really come and bless the eggs and imagine. And we used to see them do that every time they used to come and buy the eggs. They used to come with a big bus, and everyone that was in the bus used to stay in the bus for 8 hours, actually. I never understood that, while he was inside praying over the eggs. So future food, yeah. Lisa Eckerly, hello. Thank you so much, Lisa. Appreciate it. Love you very much. We could always look another direction. Yes, we could. Thanks again, Trish, for being here, my friend. Trish Killian and everybody. Yeah, that's right. Kermit Clemens is in the house. 8:11 in I'm not too bad. 10 minutes behind, maybe. Try to keep up, see if I can this time. I never was able to keep up, was I? May 1st is why Vlad went downtown. Yes. Lots of Vlads. Now we have Vladimir Putin, and we have Vladimir Zelensky, right? The comedian and actor, which I was pretty overwhelmed with that. Did you know what he used to do as an acting job? It was in a series in Ukraine where he was actually president of Ukraine. That's what he played in a series where he was president of Ukraine, and it was a comedy. Imagine that. Reagan was president. He was an actor. A couple of actors. The governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was governor of California, also an actor. Hoover. I looked up some of the presidents, all the presidents, actually. Thanks again for the contributions, my friends. And I looked at where their occupations were before they became presidents. It was really concerning to see where one, is it Hoover? It was Hoover, I believe. Hoover was in charge in Germany and Beirut Commission for food distribution to, I think, third world countries, something like that. So he started out over there and was in politics over there and came back over here. And it's surprising when you look at even the Queen, and you look up the Queen, the relationship that the Rothschilds have to Germany, because they aren't English. I'm sorry, yes. She has the accent. They're in England. I get it, but they're not. Like they're not Irish either. They have the Scottish design and everything. It's because they fell in love with a Scottish town on an island, and fell in love with the culture, fell in love with everything, and apparently they started wearing kilts after that. You hear that story and it blows your mind. You're saying that's bullshit, but you look it up and it's really real. Peter Hyde, thanks, Peter. Love you for it, man. Thank you so much, you guys. Thanks so much, Peter, for being a member too, man. Thanks, eh? More research on the way. As soon as I get off of here, it'll be another video. I'm staying up late so that you guys get a video again of the sun, of course, because I filmed the sun this morning, and I'll add some more moon research and stuff, or maybe some infrared. Like I said, I filmed the last night. I have 8 hours of footage. Crap, I have to look through. I didn't look through it yet. Maybe some really cool captures. Thanks again, Sally. Jeff, how's it going, Jeff Scott? Grand Canyon, a huge plasma hit from the sun. Thoughts? Did that actually happen? Because I didn't hear about that. Would be incredible. So is this something that happened recently, Jeff? Thoughts? Let me tell you. If that happened, there's going to be a lot of plasma balls and fireballs leaving the sun, and I believe it's going to rain down on Earth, going to cause some fires and stuff. It's not that it's going to think of it, right? It's not that it's going to kill everyone, right? We know that a lot of people are going to live and get away with it, but it's that last minute of that rain that could come down of plasma. I just see fireballs. Obviously, the sun is exerting so much energy, right? And they don't even know, they're studying, they don't even know if this is at the end of the ice age from 43,000 years ago, from 10,000 years ago. Nobody has any idea how long an ice age lasts, except for, what they're doing. I get it. Scientists are smart. I get it. They can come up with some conclusions and but doesn't mean that they're all right necessarily either when you think of it. That's for sure. Elias, comment ça va, mon frère? Hello to you. Good evening. You guys can check out Elias's channel too. Like I said, he was in Quebec at the protests and Ottawa at the protests, and he plays the guitar. So you guys can check him out. Elias, je t'aime fort, mon frère. Merci d'être ici. On se voit demain, peut-être, samedi, en direct. On va parler de beaucoup de choses. Peut-être parler de poutine et non le seul avec la sauce puis le fromage. Terry, how's it going, brother? Thank you very much for being here. Sorry, I'm looking at something at the same time. Masako house. Old Lady Patriot 64 is in the house. Hello to you. Bruce, the news in the U.S. are run by the CIA, the IMF, yes, in an office under the Pentagon next to the nuke reactor under the Pentagon. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Didn't know about that. There was a nuke under the Pentagon. I wouldn't be surprised. I always said it was hiding under a place like Area 51 or even Walt Disney. I wouldn't be surprised to have freaking ballistic missiles under Walt Disney, right? Unsuspected place, lots of people, all of a sudden, who knows? Pentagon and CIA, man, they're bad news, right, Tony? Like in reality, they're bad news. I mean, are there any good ones in there? I hope so. Maybe they're mostly good. It's like that with everyone. Maybe it's just always just a little handful of people doing bad. The scary part is that in reality, that they're the defense for the elites. That's how I see it. Scary stuff. They literally are the defense for the elites. They're the ones protecting the elites from getting caught. And the stories that I've been hearing as of 2020 with the trafficking of, the trafficking, both the trafficking and the human trafficking, they're talking about that being that they're the ones that are actually protecting all these plans from going through. It's scary stuff. So I'm sure there's a lot of arrests and a lot of things that are going on in the background, Jeff Scott, there's more coming with the sun, eh? We haven't even seen the beginning. Apparently in 2025, that's when it's going to be extremely dangerous. So I can imagine the other volcanoes that are going to surface. Let me tell you guys, I don't have the globe here. Every earthquake, almost every earthquake and volcano, right down to the one that we were looking at, and even Etna, maybe I'm not even sure, but in Italy, that one I'm not sure about. But it's in the Pacific Ocean that we're seeing an underground, also volcanic eruption. Tonga, it's all the Pacific, all the time in the Pacific that we're seeing large earthquakes and stuff. So I'm assuming that volcanics Volcanic eruptions are going to come up from the ocean floor and cause a catastrophe in that way, but it won't be catastrophic for the entire world. EMCC 2106, thanks for coming back and thank you so much. I appreciate that. Jeez, my body skin's falling apart. I'm getting old, I guess. Maybe some kind of new sickness. There's so many of them now. Thanks a lot for the generous contributions, you guys. I love you so much for it. It's greatly appreciated. And for the questions and everything, we talk about so many things here. You guys also teach me a lot of things, and I can't hear the news. Yeah, a lot going on out there, apparently. Andrew, sunbomb, missile weather. Who is to know? Well, listen, to be honest with you, I talk, just for the fun of it in theory, but maybe not so fun. The sun is like a weapon, right? It reminds me of this weapon where it turns and remains there for so many hours or days. And those sunspots, right, Peter? Peter saw them. The sunspots were there a week, I think. 2 sunspots, and that's sending a whole bunch of radiation back to Earth. The sunspots look tiny. When you look at them, it looks like a pencil point. But in reality, if you can see any spot on the sun, they say it's almost as big as Earth. If you see a spot, so it's definitely big. And the spots that we're seeing are actually humongous on the sun. So I'm actually surprised that the sun is that active. I've never seen a sun that active before. I've been filming the sun for not. I'd look at it often enough, just never saw any spots or anything really important to film. I've had the filter paper for since 2016 or 2017. Just wasn't seeing any spots on the sun. Now the spots are bad. History's been changed by those who own and pay the mainstream media. Yep, the oligarchs, exactly. To spread their propaganda. Yes, programming in progress was the sign when they went on TV. Yep. And yes, and that's exactly what they've been doing. It's the mind control, right? Mind control and everything that they've been doing. I believe in that. MK Ultra and everything. Literally doing tests like making you want to go, have a beer. People not noticing that the beer commercials were more often shown on the weekends and Thursdays and Fridays. It's all a plan to be able to control everyone. And then they started. Yes, now they're watching us on the bowl. Literally, they're in our houses, like through these computers and everything. This afternoon, a family member, I was talking with them about a controversial issue, and all of a sudden, Siri came on and was just sitting there listening. Right? They're listening to us. Literally, what they're doing, they are listening to us. It's the creepiest thing. EMCC 2106. Thanks again, eh? Kermit Clemens in the house. If Putin blows up a Ukraine nuclear plant, do you think NATO will keep Ukraine then in the war? This is really interesting. Hey, did you see Kermit Clemens? There's even a Congress member that actually tweeted. I'm not lying about this. Tweeted that NATO should kick out Putin. Putin's not with NATO. Putin doesn't want Ukraine to go with NATO. He's begging NATO to get with NATO. I think what the problem is now people don't want to go to the aid. Well, they will, but I mean, it took a while to go to Ukraine's aid because they don't want to be implicated or involved in a war. But now already there's American soldiers fighting against Russia. If I'm not mistaken, there are people. There's supposed to be 87,000 Chechen troops that we're talking about 6 days ago or something like that. Where are they? Are they there now or not? I don't know. Russian soldiers have no more insignia on their bloody things. It doesn't make any sense. If Putin blows up the nuclear plant, NATO will help Ukraine in the war. As for taking a guess, I believe so. Right now, actually, a couple of hours ago, maybe 4 or 5 hours ago, for 5 hours, NATO was in southern Poland, and what they're doing, they're up with their command center planes. It's a whole office in there, and of course, the planes that have a big UFO disc on top of it that you see that has like a big satellite or tub on the top of it. That's communication center. That's like literally the government in the air. The Americans also have that, Air Force One, and they have another one with the communication and everything, and it has that big satellite on top. Crazy stuff. I believe that NATO will try to intervene. You know how, Kermit? By sending in their goons. They could send in, I don't know, for all I know, they could send in UN. They could send in troops from maybe France, because now I know France or something, if I'm not mistaken, do they have troops? Are they going to send troops? I'm not sure yet about Macron there, the moron. I'm really not sure about him yet. Hey, Christy. Thanks, Christy. I appreciate it. Love you for it. Thanks, you guys. We're living in a scary world. It pisses me off, Gate Smasher. Thanks, Christy. It pisses me off, the Gate Smasher, that mainstream has been taken over like that. It really makes me sad when you listen to CBC talking about the people waving swastika flags when what was her nationality? A Mohawk lady, Indian tribes, my friends, very dangerous. Okay, affecting them. Okay, they sent in the horses. Horses ran over the people, ran over a lady, a Mohawk lady, and they said that the Mohawk lady had a bicycle that she threw on the horse lady with her walker. And there's another thing that happened. I don't remember. I don't even know if I should talk about it. That's probably why I forgot to mention it. Something pretty serious, actually. What was it? It was really, really important. I hope I think of it later. Lots going on right now. Teresa, be kind. How's it going? Hey, G, Ostrov. Hey, Santa Barbara. Hello, Santa Barbara. Wow. Thank you very much for being here. That's Peter Benton's channel. You guys can check out his channel too. He gets the sun. And you got to check out his troll songs. Kellen, man, how's it going? I'm doing very well. Thanks a lot, you guys. Yeah, I'm doing well considering what's going on in the world, and the weather. And I got to thank I like the mentality of people saying, like, we have to keep living, right? And we have to keep enjoying ourselves. And social media is not just a thing that your kids are on too often. Social media is a lifeline for some people. Some people are alone in life, and they just absolutely need. I don't know what the hell's going on with my arm, guys. I think I'm dying. People need to connect, especially in the times of sadness and war now. I think it's important for us to come on, to laugh, to look at a stupid kitty video or something, I mean, or maybe, excuse my stupid kitty, you know what I mean? Anything, The other day I was so stressed out, quite stressed out about what was going on in Ukraine. I went and watched Three's Company, 2-3 episodes of Three's Company, just to go back to a time where I can remember where things were normal, and sometimes I do that. I've been in great meditation these days, especially in 2022. I feel that I'm aligned this year. I feel that I know what my goal is, what I want to do, and my the tasks that I have to do. It's going to be a hard year. I expect to do a lot of good work, a lot of videos. I can never make enough videos, but my goal is not to just pump out videos of anything. I want to show captures of stuff that we haven't seen before, and it's not always it doesn't always have to do with skill. There's a lot of luck in that. Not everybody has a chance to see UFOs. I am just so bloody lucky. I consider myself blessed to see all the lights like that. Like I have been. I'm not going to hide it, guys. It's been many, many, many weeks that I've not seen any lights here in the sky. Of course, there's that problem. Thanks again, Christy. There's that problem with the weather. Of course, when the weather is bad, like 2 weeks in a row. Well, maybe there were lots of UFOs. I didn't see them. But in general, the sky's been very, very quiet. 8 hours of footage to see after this. Maybe there's a capture. Did you see CTV showed pics from Ottawa and saying it was from Ukraine? I heard of that, and that is disgusting. Oh, my Crypto Ed, actually, thank you. Yes, they did, Kai. Yes, they did, Kai. They hit the power plant. There was a fire that broke out at the power plant. The people stayed there inside and continued to regulate the power plant. Out of the 5 reactors, there was one that was functional right now. So this is the biggest power plant in Europe. It's massive, and they said that there's a fire that started. I believe they got the fire under control, but this is crazy. I mean, this is dangerous what they're trying to do there. They're attacking a nuclear plant. There's no country that has ever attacked a nuclear plant except one country. Can you guess what country that is? Russia. They're the only ones that have attacked a nuclear plant. So I heard, right? I don't know what happened in Fukushima. Obviously, it wasn't a military attack or something like that. Apparently, Chernobyl wasn't either. But still, Russia, apparently, they have attacked a nuclear plant. And in Ukraine right now, we have the proof, right? Is it someone else doing it? I get it. I understand the fears of some of you or the different opinions where you say it doesn't mean it's Russia doing it. It could be Ukraine themselves. I get it. We're just sitting back and we're watching the shit show. Excuse the expression, but that's what it is. It's disgusting what's going on. I saw somebody getting lashes this morning. You know what lashing? Like often you see the Muslims do that. I'm totally against that, but they lash out for certain things, certain crimes. So they're whipping this person that was tied to a post, a Russian soldier or Ukrainian soldier. I think it was Russian. I'm not sure. I have a hard time differentiating them. And so do they. Russians came into Ukraine and said, they all look the same. Yeah, of course they all look the same. They look like you. They are you. They're Russian people that are there in those little countries. But it is concerning to see that a large country like Russia and the power that he has would take over a smaller country like Ukraine, which he just basically called a tiny. What was the year? What was the word that he used? That somebody declared themselves a state, Ukraine. So basically, before that, if you look way back to the Soviet Union, and holy crap, I'm not going to get into that, but all those regions were the Soviet Union, right? And all those regions were together. So when they separated 7, 10, 12 states over there, or whatever they call them, when they separated and started becoming independent, the big problem with Putin was when Zelensky, Vladimir Zelensky. Funny, Vladimir versus Vladimir. So Zelensky, the comedian, the actor in Ukraine, I don't remember what I was saying anymore now. I don't remember. Must have been a lie. But anyway, Zelensky is saying that Russia is trying to attack residential areas. That's what I wanted to say. And the residential areas are being effing bombed. And I'm seeing them online. And of course, I'm not from there. And I was talking with a family member about this. It's true. I don't know if that video that I'm looking at is necessarily from today. But for me, it's not enough to just see videos of death and suppose that it's not real. I hope it's not, because there's a serious problem if there is. I saw Putin himself threaten all countries, including Canada, that have given him sanctions. Anyone applying sanctions to Putin, they will take that as a direct threat, obviously. And he said that anyone that gives sanctions to us in Russia, to them in Russia, will be responded to in a way that we've never seen before in any world war Okay. So it is concerning. So obviously, he's doing what he calls a military operation, right? That's what they're saying. They're all saying they're not attacking residential areas, but yet these areas are being attacked. So, like I said in the first stream, could ISIS be there? Could all these other, groups be there? They say it's neo-Nazi separatists that are taking over the country, and I don't see any. Very concerning. Tony Nas, thank you very much for being here. Hello again. Yes, thank you. Hope you're doing well, Tony. Thanks for being a member, my friend. Thanks, guys. Kermit's channel. Thanks, Darla. Yeah, listen, Darla, especially the people that come back here all the time like that. It'd be nice if once in a while some of us sort of get together. But that's what often happens. Often the community members, some of us mingle together. We go to our channels and stuff, even though we don't always have time to go to everyone's channel, but it's still fun. Hi, Miss Arrow. How's it going? I'm already late again, eh? Try to answer all the comments. I just never will be able to. Thank you very much, Mr. Peter Hyde, for the ongoing support, bro. I really love you for it. Daryl Green, how's it going, man? Not getting a good picture over here in New Zealand. Sorry about that for some reason. Rocket hit the moon, maybe? Maybe our telecommunications on the moon. Wouldn't that be funny, Daryl? It actually wouldn't be funny. It would not be funny. But that something crashed on the moon, and the minute the rocket crashed on the moon, we're looking at it live, and we see it hit. And then the minute the rocket hits the moon, we feel an earthquake here. What would people think? Are we on the moon? There's lots of cool theories of people saying that the moon's a reflection of the top in this big hole that I had said at one point, and that all the blue that we're seeing around us is just the side walls going up to the top. And anyways, there could be many theories that we can bring up that are just so interesting. Thanks, Darla. Check out those channels, my friends. Thanks again, Lisa, for coming by. Archie's in the house. Manica, thanks, you guys. Hey, Lisa McDonald's here. Thanks, Lisa. Bruce Google says 7:37 Eastern time for impact. It's like a Coke can with no top. Yes, it's going to crumble. Yeah, well, that's it. So, yeah, obviously, I haven't even thought of that, actually. It's going to crumble all apart and stuff. It's almost four tons, right? They're saying. So, hey, Tony, that's probably some of the debris that we're already seeing around the moon, right? Some of that debris that we're seeing. Like, I mean, I was 2021, guys, was the year I caught, I believe, the most objects in space. And listen, already done showing it. It's too bad. I caught a dark triangle. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, go and see it. It is an object. Am I going to say it, Elmer Fudd? It's an object that was going really fast from bottom to top of the was it the sun or the moon? I think it was the sun. Now I'm lost. Yes, it was the sun. And of course, that's when I started filming the sun. It coincides when NASA mentions that they're doing a test or a certain rocket sometimes is going to be launched. It does happen on a rare occasion that I can capture that day or the day after an object that's going by. It doesn't mean that that's the object that absolutely was launched. No, but it's still interesting because, you'd think there's not that many objects out there, even though there is. There's a lot of objects the size of a fist, they say, but there's even maybe not more objects, but there's a lot of objects. Monica, hello. Howdy, folks. Hello, Monica. Thank you. Welcome, guys. Thanks, Tony. Lisa McDonald's. Yes, you said it, Terry. Yes. Electric Universe. Right on, bro. Damn right. Nikola Tesla's universe. 3, 6, and 9. Very important number. Thanks again, Lisa. It's almost like it was a planned crash from before they invented it. I believe it is, man. Or they invented it to crash at a certain time, at a certain place on the moon from the data they collected. Absolutely. And they're doing tests maybe to see how much time it takes to go. What's the best way to launch a bomb somewhere and not get caught. You mean to tell? I've always thought of this. I always said you could launch a bomb anywhere on Earth. You just have it go up into orbit and just let Earth turn around, and then once you know Earth turns and is just placed right under that object who's in geostationary orbit, or no, it's not geostationary. If not, he wouldn't be staying in place. He would be turning with Earth. So you have it remain in place till Earth turns. They don't even have to travel. It's like going to Mars, right? When we go to Mars, they have to wait for a launch. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, every 12 years or 7 or 8 years, they have to go when Mars is at the right height and facing Earth so that they can cross over quickly, and as to compared to, going a lot further. So you wait till the planets move around. Could they be doing that with some of the bombs around Earth? I'll be honest with you guys. I think some of the UFO lights are an adversarial country, like possibly Russia. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine if Russia were the ones that had that energy? They found out the energy and closed in a vacuum, and they're using a secret weapon to zap us by sending those lights around Earth. Maybe those lights are filming around Earth, but it's scary if China or Russia could be doing that. I would say it's very concerning if that is something that's possible. Hey, Parathus, thank you so much, brother. Thanks, man. I love you for it. Thanks, you guys. And thanks for being a member too, my friends. Thanks for the ongoing support, guys. I'll be making more good videos this week. How can I not? And for the members too, also, as always. Thanks again, Parathus. You guys rock. Thanks for the generous contributions. The last Australian. I am. Yes, I am. I got it. Do you want to see it? Amazing footage. Hello, Darla. I do. I do. Be free, man. Yeah, facts are hard to come by. They really are. Thanks again for the generous contributions, Parathus, and everyone. I love you guys for it. Yeah, facts are hard to come by. And my mother just the other day or this afternoon mentioned it. She goes, we have a better chance of seeing during the war with what people are filming on their bloody phones, traveling between borders and the immigration and everything. It's the only truth we're getting, actually. I've been watching a lot of Russian speaking videos to find out what's going on. Obviously, I'm not understanding 99.9% of what they're saying, but you get some visuals that are totally confusing, and it seems to be not being mentioned in the news. The media are not talking about that. So, guys, that red flag event we're all supposed to be prepared for, and we're wondering when it's going to hit. Well, I think that maybe the red flag event is so broad, it's so vast what they wanted to do with the New World Order that, the COVID also could be a part of that red flag leading up to the war now in Ukraine. But I'm happy there's a lot of people that are awake, and a lot of you are telling me, Bruce, don't get caught up in the media. Be careful with what's going on with Ukraine and Russia. It's not what you think. Yeah, you guys are right. You guys are really awake, and I know it. And we're just watching what's going on. Yeah, Todd, that's what they're trying to prove to us. 2 + 2 is 5. Exactly. And if they say 2 + 2 is 5, it will be 5. That's the worst of it. They're looking at us, literally telling us it's 5 when we know it's 4, but they're saying, no, it's 5. It's always been 5. And they get the last word, apparently. Saying it was an accidental situation before it happened. Yes, and I don't believe it was actually, I believe, like you said, like it was a planned crash from before. I'm sure. Test the impact, right, of the strength of almost 4-ton object traveling at almost 10,000 kilometers an hour, like almost 9,000 kilometers an hour, almost 6,000 miles an hour, to hit into the moon in a dusty surface. So they say it's dusty. It's not. If it's dusty, it's from the mining or something that's there, right? But because they want to displace, they want to divert that asteroid. When is it? End of 22, right? Or is it at the end of 23? It could be this year, right? September, October. I'd have to go back. There's so much going on, but you know what I mean. The asteroid that they want to divert, literally, or explode. Was explosion on the moon be from that? Let me tell you something. I looked it up the other day, and I'm going to do it for you right now because it was an interesting answer that Google told me. I asked how many crashes occurred on the moon at one point. I was asking some keywords and questions, and they said to me that, are you talking about deliberate crashes or accidental crashes? And there's a lot of crashes that are not accidental. See, here's another one that's coming up. This is the list of space flight related accidents and incidents. And of course, they could always say what they want on these. I get it. Verifiable space flight related accidents and incidents. Human fatality. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Hold on. How many crashes happen on the moon is what I want to ask for. And they didn't show me what they showed me before. 6 accidents. The Chinese rocket just crashed. No, I can't find it. But anyways, so they said that Chinese rocket, apparently it did crash on the moon. A new video shows you exactly what happened. So, of course, I'm not going to look at that here. Block. Yeah. Illustrations. I'm not even going to look at the video. That really pisses me off when they show you an illustration. Here, guys, you want to see what happened on the moon? NASA shows you in an illustration. Why? Why? How do they know what happened? They must have the bloody video, and they don't show us the video. How many deliberate crashes on the moon? That's what I want to ask it. For the fun of it. Every time you want to do something, it doesn't work, right? How many planned? There you go. The word I was looking for. How many planned crashes on the moon? No, I didn't mean plane crash. I mean planned crashes. Oh, they're pissing me off now. Anyways, I was looking at the crashes. Sorry about that, guys. The crashes say that most of them were deliberate crashes, like when they launched something to hit the moon. There's that nuclear tested on the moon. So it's like the Nevada test site. They do a lot of testing here. If you look overhead on Google Maps, go visit the Nevada test site. Back up and look at all the craters all over Earth. It really does look like the moon. They do testing by doing explosions, and they do implosions, and they really look like the craters on the moon. When you look at the craters on the moon, it looks like blasted areas. So in other words, imagine blasting an area where everything caves in, which is perfect to hold a mining, like make a mining pit where everything crumbles in on itself, and then they run a line around it and they just start digging and going around and around. I believe that could be possible, that they're mining on the moon. I believe possibly even humans that are there mining, probably maybe even since the 60s, and who knows when that they've been doing that. Thanks again, guys, for the generous contributions, eh? Thanks to Stats. Thanks you guys for being here, eh? My Canadian in me. My sister and I had phone problems. Yeah, same here was bad. All the family members I was trying to reach, I was having a lot of problems trying to reach them at that moment. And we're going to see a lot of other geomagnetic storms, like a lot, guys. Leading up to 2025, we're going to see the worst weather on Earth that anyone alive today has ever seen. But I'm encouraged because it's going to be pockets of events, right? Earthquake in one region. I highly doubt there's going to be an earthquake around the whole Earth, unless let's get into drastic theories. If an asteroid or meteor or something really big does hit Earth, of course, it could be dangerous. Why do you think they're going out to try to divert an asteroid? Maybe they're going to have to divert something coming in 10 years. 2029, Christopher Rollins, I think, was the one that mentioned it last stream. Another object that's supposed to hit Earth. And not just in 2029, there's lots of things that are going to occur. Did you guys see that there's going to be an explosion? They're going to see a sun explode, if I'm not mistaken, or they're talking about two objects that are going to merge into one another in 2022, and they're going to witness for the first time this big eruption, apparently. So obviously James Webb is going to be calibrated for this summer, and that's where it's going to go. Because right now, James Webb, like I said in the first stream, I know I'm lingering, it's 18 scopes. You got the 18 mirrors. They're not calibrated or aligned, so they're all working independently like different telescopes. So I don't know if you saw the image of the first image. There's maybe 3 stars in front of the James Webb. When James Webb takes a picture of those 3 stars, well, they see 24 stars multiplied by the 8 mirrors, and they're all in different places. So what they're going to do is they're going to calibrate that to bring it up to the smallest wavelengths where all the stars are lined up. And then they're going to start, they say, producing these amazing images, right? James Webb Telescope, $10 billion US, and it was set back many years. Actually, it was supposed to go up. So you can only imagine with the war happening now. Do you guys think they're going? I said it, right? I called it the minute they first started talking about the Artemis project for 2024, sending people back since the 70s to the moon, that it's maybe not going to happen in 2024 because of a cataclysmic event. So the cataclysmic event has now become a war in my head, possibly. And I could see them very easily backing it up to 2026, 2025, or maybe even 2028, 2032, because of the climate and everything, if there's so much problem. But I believe that they have to go to the moon now and set up a base, right? But what about the people that are there? Are there people there, or it's really ancient structures? This could be the reason why Russia, United States, and China are in the race war, which, by the way, I hope you see that that's what they're doing. Space Force, just in the news recently, a couple of hours ago in Space News, they're changing their entire, not infrastructure, but their entire projects of what they were doing in space and analyzing, right? Don't forget UFOs. They're supposed to try to get better views of the UFOs. Or 3 branches of military want to get one of the UFOs and either strike it down or have it capture it to try to back engineer it. Obviously, the stuff that's going on is getting really crazy. Starlink has to be the reason for the glitches in wireless. Hope it good. I agree with that. I think that that's what we're witnessing. And let me tell you, yes, Archie, let me tell you when they set the satellites up for us to get a better connection. Did you notice how we're not getting a better connection? Seems the connections are all worse. What's the use of having satellites if our sun's going to go into solar maximum from here to 2025? It's going to get bad, guys. So for the next few years, don't forget, Elon Musk says that billions upon billions, and he said hundreds of billions, okay, of satellites can coexist in orbit around Earth, no problem. We got to get rid of the debris. We are far from doing everything that they want to do. I would realistically say in a 10-year period, they will have maybe started into the projects and beginning the projects. What's the problem with picking up space debris? They can align themselves to land on the moon for the first bloody time in a moving celestial object, but we can't pick up space debris. That's retarded. I don't even believe it. Maybe they don't want to. Why not like a trash compactor? I'm serious about this. A giant round circular tube that suction and brings everything inside of it, no matter what the size. And as it goes in, you have an intense fusioning, okay, and grinders, these big teeth and diamond cutting pieces to be able to mulch whatever the hell they get and just let it off like pixie dust. No, Is it that? I don't know. I guess it sounds, what's cool? It's so easy finding solutions to other people's problems, right? You got a friend that has a problem. All you have to do is that. When he says that, you do that. What you want to do is you go over there, you get a job over there. Then you want to, it's easy when you don't have to do it yourself. How the hell are they going to pick up debris in space? NASA is ready to hire independent space associations and different companies, new innovative companies with innovative ideas to be able to find out how they can pick up the debris. Elon Musk just won a grant or a gift of $1.5 million to do one of those tests, I believe. Excuse me. I'm not talking enough. Yeah. Wants to pick up debris. So he got $1.5 million to try to find, is it to make, what is it for? Is it for the debris or is it to launch something again to the moon or something? It could be. He's supposed to drop off cargo in 2022 this year in Mare Crisium. Supposed to go there. I heard there was supposed to be 3 people, if I'm not mistaken, 3 astronauts to land on the surface to drop off some cargo. They're talking about the cargo platforms around Earth and the moon that they want to do, where they're going to send in cargo ships and Falcon and Soyuz rockets to go and land, with the capsules to go and land on these platforms that will have robots there to take all the equipment out of what's going to land there and to have them there as checkpoints to get closer to the moon. In other words, like storage units. That's crazy stuff. I talk about that, you're like, whoa. Thank you, Eddie House. Merci, man. Crazy stuff. The James Webb Eon Cannon was knocking those satellites down like no one's business. Well, yeah, Kellen, that listen, could be what's happening. He could, it could very well be a weapon, of course, eh? EMCC 2106, Tesla is my mentor. I love Tesla. You said it probably because I mentioned the 3, 6, and 9. The guy was a genius. He was ahead of his time. He died with a penny in his pocket in New York. Lots of stories with Tesla. Amazing stories with Tesla. Basically, we stole Tesla's ideals is what I believe. There's no confirmation, but I believe, well, first, here, everything that he invented, we can see it. The Hydro-Quebec plant, don't wonder why it's been invented, right? He was hired to fix 53 generators by Thomas Edison, right? Was it Thomas Edison? And he never paid him. And he said, he was going to lend him some money if he was able to fix those generators, a problem that Thomas Edison had with the generator or something that was continually breaking. Tesla was able to do that by himself, and he was a genius. The remote controls, he was the first to light up a light elsewhere through remote control, literally like Wi-Fi. I think this guy was a genius. He used to communicate with in space. He used to. Is there any footage of Tesla? Any reading, any audio or a sound of what he was recording in space, where he said he voices? I mean, I know there's a story about that, but is there actually any footage of Tesla's work and research? Einstein has some. I've seen some of his work. A bit hard to understand, but Boyd is doing his equations and stuff. I like going back to those times, and I like seeing parts of history that aren't mentioned because the history books don't coincide. They don't coincide. I have antique books here from my grandfather, and they talk about Napoleon Bonaparte in history. Going to Egypt in the 1800s to the 1800s to empty out Tutankhamun's pyramid and tomb. And then we hear that Tutankhamun's pyramid was opened for the first time very recently, couple years ago, they said, and that they looked inside and looked at the riches for the first time. Then they talked about finding he had a crooked spine and everything. So they go through all this process of being, they know it all. It makes me laugh so much. They got his face up on a computer now. They know what he looks like. They reconstructed his bone structure, his teeth, his skin, and everything. They knew he had a pimple beside his nose. They knew he had a crooked spine. And but that was interesting though. Tutankhamun, apparently he died of, I guess, a battle, or there's axe in his head when they found. Oh no! Hold on. Now, my gosh, I'm mixing up. I'm mixing up eras. Now I brought you. I'm in England right now, thinking of another finding that you guys probably heard about. Another king that they found a couple of years ago. Actually, I remember watching that documentary. I was getting mixed up with that one. A certain king in England that was buried, I guess, in a layman's grave, just a regular grave with nothing royal on him or royalty, but it was one of the kings of England. I don't remember which one, but he was the one with the battle axe, which probably would have finished him off. They said, why am I talking about kings in England? A bit of everything today. KM, Starlink is the only internet still working in the Ukraine. Yes. And that is why Elon Musk is worried about the Tesla. Oh my God, guys, I'm losing it. I'm thinking of Tesla. Maybe he's thinking of me. Vladimir Putin, worried with his anti-satellite missiles, etc., taking down Starlink satellites. They say that he has other means of taking the satellites down that would not necessarily be detectable. That is concerning. So that means either Russia or China or any country could take down the bloody satellites, and it would be impossible for us to be able to know how it was taken down, or maybe not know how. We'd know it through the frequencies, but we wouldn't know where it's coming from. If it's a beam or something, right? Because that's what's going on. They say Vladimir Putin's using illegal weapons, eh? They're talking about him. I don't know if that's true either. They're talking about him using cluster bombs, I guess, something like that, cluster bombs. And they're talking about him using, what else is he using? I guess, weapons that are illegal to use during war, like nuclear weapons is another one that's sort of illegal. But what would be somebody's goal in trying to hit a nuclear power plant? It doesn't make any sense for me, because I guess I'm not an oligarch or an elite. I don't see the utility of it. Unless it's, this lot's taken into consideration. How far? Oh my gosh. They said that if that was destroyed, that power plant, the biggest one in Europe, guys, in Ukraine, they said that it would be 10 or 11 times the damage and radiation and effect of what happened in Chernobyl. Think of it. That would mean like a whole part of Russia just destroyed, with all the other countries like Crimea, Ukraine. I'm taking a guess here. If it's the biggest power plant, 5 cores. Holy crap. Imagine what would happen. Hey, Daddy. Hey, people in Darla. Thank you very much, Daddy Channel, for being here. Every time the people wake up and show their discontent, there is always the spreading of chemtrails. That's true, man. It concerns me also, and it is very true what you said, because right after they froze the bank accounts here, screwface Trudeu, it's true, they started spraying immensely for 2 weeks straight, and there's a lot of stories behind that too. Bill Gates supposedly is spraying, or going to spray, that friggin' chalk to try to stop sun rays from reaching Earth. They did the test. They were able to stop the sun rays from reaching Earth. But now I'm repeating again now, the solar flares, the solar ring around those solar flares, around those sunspots, okay, and solar flares, the solar ring around it, scientists are just talking about it possibly diminishing the light from reaching Earth. It diminishes the energy that reaches Earth. It diminishes the ultraviolet rays that get to Earth. We need them. We do need ultraviolet rays. We need, even though they're damageable, they're also needed for several reasons. So what's going to happen is that with the sun, the worse it gets, the energy that is reaching Earth from the sun. This is interesting. Yeah, it took a year to understand it, but I understand it now. It'll take the energy won't be able to reach Earth, and that is definitely going to drastically change the climate. It affects the chemistry of the atmosphere entirely. The entire Earth, around Earth, the atmosphere will change entirely. Cold regions will change, warm regions will change, and of course, has to do a lot with the shift in this. But again, everything is experimental, everything's theoretical, what they're talking about. Now, the documentation that's going to be documented when this sun event occurs from now to 2025, and we're going to see many events. It's going to be, like I said, pocketed events. Mount Etna just started. Maybe we're going to see what's I don't know the name. My gosh, memory blank. Anyways, the big volcano. Anyways, we're going to see volcanoes erupt that a long time ago haven't erupted like in maybe 10,000 years. And that's going to create a lot of sulfur dioxide. And the sulfur dioxide is not good. And where was it? In Spain, the volcano that erupted for I don't know how many months, 90 days, almost 100 days in the Canary Islands, the sulfur dioxide that was coming out of that mountain each and every day in 24 hours was thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of tons of the sulfur dioxide that was coming out. That's not good. CO2 and all the crap that just absolutely incredible. So that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen because of the sun. So why are they sending satellites up? What's the use? What's the use of sending satellites up if they're all going to be destroyed? What's the use of us having wires and lines here if another Carrington event happens? They didn't have internet back in those days, and not everybody had a TV. I don't even think it existed. So with all the devices that we have now, what I'm worried about is that all the devices in our houses will catch on fire. So that's going to be dangerous. It's not that we're all automatically going to die right away, but aside from the radiation outside, it's not good. The radiation is dangerous, and especially even if you're in a plane, it can go through the fuselage during a geomagnetic storm. So, of course, I started noticing that the UFOs, when there are geomagnetic storms, my friends, do the test. I've never seen a UFO in the sky during a geomagnetic storm. So could it be that the UFOs themselves, if some of them are human, like to hope that some of them are, it's actually, I'm less afraid thinking that aliens could be in those lights than humans, because we're the dangerous ones. We really are the dangerous ones, I think. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, everyone. Some are in trouble around here. 600 gun collection discovered, similar to Waco gun discovery. Oh, wow. Yeah, and that's if they're not planted, eh? It's like so crazy, the world we're living in right now. They get me hungry, Gate Smasher. Worst floods in our history. Saw them created amazing tech. Maybe not human. Maybe not human. That's what we're about to see, my friends. Calling all folks. Meet or beat my challenge. The team rocks. You definitely rock, each and every one of you. Lisa, I love you for everything, for the support, the comments, the contributions. Very, very greatly appreciated, you guys. You guys really are my online family. We have a lot of fun on the live streams, and I don't know who appreciates who more, you or me, but I really appreciate you guys. So yeah, Daddy, they say World War III is coming, and now apparently what they're saying, it's World War IV. Apparently we would have gone through the three, which is, listen, it's crazy there. I sort of think like you, World War III is coming, but yes, for real, it may be a world war, for real, a world war. 75, excuse me for a moment. That treaty, all the treaties long ago, the Rothschilds, signed a 100-year treaty, right? She was in charge of so much. I know it for a fact. The queen was supposed to be in charge for 100 years. Her husband died, lo and behold, 99th year of age. And all of a sudden, Harry was disowned, which I've always said that was deliberate. I said it the week Harry was pushing himself away from the family and there was fighting going on with the royal family. I said they're going to defend Harry because he's the youngest royal and he moved to Canada. He didn't stay there for long, stayed there for a couple of months. Then he left Canada, went to, is it California or Los Angeles? So I believe that that was all planned and deliberate because of what was coming. You can be sure that the queen knew that there was going to be a war with Russia. The elites, and they all know this shit ahead of time. Excuse the expression, but it's true when you think of it. Hola, ZG. Definitely. When I was growing up, Cam said my family had Frontier Night and used no electricity all day. That is awesome. I love that. I respect that very much. We'd play board games and stuff. We play board games and stuff. Yeah, I did that with my mother. Not by choosing a day for doing it, but even with electricity, we were able to do that often enough. Actually, I remember that when I was young. I'm happy to have that memory because it was fun, right? And I said it, KM. I think I said it last stream. Everyone's going to go back to playing Uno. We're going to take out the electric battleship or the battleship that wasn't electric, depending on whether we're rich or not. I got the electric, but I had to rebuy when it wasn't electric. Big battleship game. I played that. I'd play that all day. B3. A2. You sunk my battleship. Some of the games were fun. They were fun because for me, what I always did playing a board game, especially when I got older, I know no friends that appreciated playing with me. I like laughing at people when they lose. And I like them laughing at me. I think it's sort of like a bar game. I've always found that when you're playing a game and someone's beating you, or you're playing Monopoly and some guy's really not doing good, I just like go and blast them. When I was older, I mean, but playing any games with people or cards, I was really good with cards. Never went to a casino in my life. Never played poker for real money. But when it comes to just pretending with toothpicks or with pennies or cookies, I was just so freaking good at playing cards. I liked playing the games because I like the competition of it, right? I like the challenge, actually playing something that's really, really hard to play. But more and more people are going to bring out those boards, and Monopoly, Trouble, right? Clue. Maybe some people have the Clue. For whatever the reason, we all had probably the exact same games, most of us. Maybe a game of Risk, some intellectual game of Risk. So they say it was intellectual. What if we all got a chance to come back to Earth, to make? We are on Earth choices, but we forgot and doing the same thing we was doing. Yes, the great forgotten reset. Absolutely. Maybe this is the moon, and that gray object that we're seeing out in yonder could actually be the moon. A planet, right? Some people say the moon's a spaceship. I respect that too. Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities when you think of it. Doesn't make any sense that that moon is locked in synchronous orbit around Earth. I can only imagine that the moon was what destroyed probably Earth in theory. I'm just talking theories here. Maybe the moon is what destroyed Earth, caused the great floods. And don't forget, it all depends on what if there was a shift that happened, right? Don't forget the Bible. They could have left a lot out of the Bible. It's not that they're necessarily lying about anything. They just didn't tell you all the truth about it. Maybe the moon, there was a shift or a massive coronal mass ejection, which, would you agree with me, in theory, can we assume without it being ridiculous in any way, common sense, could the moon not only shift and rotate, but actually change its synchronous location to offset towards the north or other side, when you think of the possibility of that, and thus causing les marées, causing the tides to really rise up because it rocks. And we know that the moon goes like this. The moon goes like that all the time. That's the exact trajectory they say the moon does. It rocks and then it turns like that. When it does that turn like that, that's when we see Mare Crisium and everything. It shifts downwards. Aristarchus climbs up on the top. I saw Aristarchus. I saw Aristarchus on the north side of the moon, right in the north side of the moon, because it rotates, which is normal. Every phase it goes to an extreme. But this year and last year, some of you guys too noticed that the moon was drastically rotating a lot more. And you guys, I know some of you have seen it. Do you all remember the different areas that the moon and the sun was both rising and descending along the elliptical line? It rises, Elmer Fudd again. It rises. I got so much to say. It rises in the other day. Where the hell was it rising? It was rising in the east. Yes, duh. Geez, sorry about that. But instead of being in the east, it was south. It was southeast. It was southeast. So in front of my house as compared to in the east. And we saw the sun and the moon rise in the south. And at the same time that it rose in the south, I saw it go down in the south. And I have even a couple of people here that confirmed that saw the same thing. There was that one night that I saw that light. This is recent also, where there was a real sun in the sky, a bright object, a star or something, and it was low on the horizon, and I could see the orange sky starting to come up as the moon was full at the same time. The sun was right underneath it, which obviously, no, it wasn't the sun because it shouldn't be right beside it. And do you ever take the time to notice during the year the moments where you see the moon and the sun together? Like, I mean, the moon's there and the sun's there. They're right side by side when you see them. So imagine how swiveled Earth is. Because is it the moon turning, or is it Earth shifting, or is everyone turning? It's not everyone turning because we wouldn't see the shift. We wouldn't see a change. If everyone was turning, we wouldn't visually see. We'd just maybe feel the effect. But it's not so. I don't think it's so. It's not exactly like that. Oh, I love Seinfeld. I watched every one of them. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. He's cherished in Ukraine for sure. Went downtown on Crane Cuz, not complying to the NWO who take over May 1st. Yes. And I know there's something coming up May 1st too. There's also talk about the biolabs in Ukraine. They're talking about some type of virus that was supposed to be made to kill the Russian people. And then I don't know, they're bombing now. Apparently they would have bombed those labs, but crazy stuff happening. Oh, gosh, I haven't eaten today, guys. Poor little thin Bruce is gonna die. No danger. Yeah, apparently, Ivar, thank you very much. Apparently, it would have hit this morning. They were waiting for the confirmation, but they're explaining how it crashed. I have yet to go see it actually because it's just up now. But apparently, it did crash. I filmed the moon a little bit this evening, but I'm telling you guys, it was like a fingernail. It was just a hairline moon. It's still beautiful. You'll see it. It literally looks like a ring of fire. Actually, it looked like it almost looks like an eclipse when I show it to you. It's a whole half of the moon, but very, very thin. Yeah, they are actors, Anthony. Hello, Anthony. Let me scroll down here. Bradley Bowen is here from Illinois, Central Illinois. Thank you very much. Hologram on hologram. Yo to you. Yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, NATO, and in French, it's the opposite. It's backwards, like Illuminati, backwards. OTAN, l'OTAN in French, and NATO. NATO, like I said, flying around Poland for 5 hours doing some spying. What they're doing, NATO are in the air and they're looking to see what's going on, on the ground. NATO is the cabal, but I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, rooting for Putin. I used to be rooting for Putin too, but it's because I got one problem, and like, tell me what you think of this. I sort of agreed with you, but I got a problem with the residential areas being bombed. Do you think that it could actually be a real terrorist group that's doing it? It's definitely not Ukraine shooting on themselves, right? So I don't know. I don't know what the goal is. Maybe they want to alleviate, take down the New World Order, which I did hear, but are they going to do it by killing all the Ukrainians? I don't know. I really don't know. It's troubling. Stephanie Martin, thanks for being here. I'm going to make an amazing video for y'all. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'll tell you guys, we have no effing idea what's going on. NATO, it's a group, right? It's a pyramid. We're not going to hide it. If you're part of NATO, it's because you're paying into NATO. It's like being with the 33 Club. You got to pay into it so many thousands of dollars a year to be a member. And that's what they're doing. He wants to save his ass by being with NATO because all the other countries are going to come to his aid. But whether he's with NATO or not, it's still a country that's being invaded, right? When you think of it. If Putin was invading authentically and not killing people and stuff like that. But again, like I said, EMCC 2106, I'm standing by and I'm watching. I'm waiting to see what things are happening. There's no way of me coming to a conclusion right now. Hey there, Christy. Putin's after the Nazis. That's what they said. Doesn't want them on his doorstep. Absolutely. So what happened is Ukraine dealt with the West, and that's why they're saying it's Western propaganda inside of Ukraine. Another thing is he doesn't want them on his doorstep. Exactly. He doesn't want NATO either to be part of Ukraine, or the opposite, Ukraine to be part of NATO, because NATO is going to be flying over that airspace. That means NATO is going to be able to spy on Russia. I'm intelligent enough to know that that's a fact. Definitely why he's doing that. NATO's airspace is in Poland right now because they do not have access to fly over Ukraine because they are not part of the NATO right now. But they are applying to be part of the NATO. They want to be part of the NATO. They're asking for help from Europe or whatever. Like I said, they talked about those 87,000 Chechen troops that were supposed to go to Ukraine to defend against Russia. Where the hell are they? I don't know. We're all implicated, and it's all because of the elites, whether is an elite or not. I saw him this year, and I'm not going to hide it. EMCC. I was watching Putin talk against the cabal and talk against the New World Order, and to talk against the way Biden was treating his people. But then all of a sudden, the war broke out. Why were the Russian troops saying that they were tricked into going to war when they thought it was only a military training exercise? So those are things that are concerning me before I take sides or not. And for me, and again, we're open for debate here. I love debates, and I respect each and every one of your opinions. I'm no genius. I'm trying to sound out what's going on. A lot of people on the French channel too. I said it last stream. A lot of people on the French channel are for Putin, and we were talking a lot about debating on that fact, on what's going on, because you see, a lot of us have different stories, and that's what I'm understanding. Not everybody saw probably all the videos. Like, I mean, did any of you wake up this morning and see a video of people tied to posts being lashed? There's a lot of problems I have with some of these things being done. Are they in Kiev? Yes, because I recognize those landmarks. Don't forget, in the central of Kiev, where they're defending, you always see those yellow buildings with the roofs and stuff. It's the capital. And that is where we're seeing a lot of the videos that are being filmed from that region. So when I see a video from that region, I can say, yeah, it's probably most likely from there. But is it this year? I don't know. Was it last year? Of course, it could be any time, right? Throwing a walker at RCMP that's mounted. I don't recall seeing the walker or a bike. Did see the horse stop. Yep, and she had a walker. The woman had a walker, literally got run over, and her walker went flying. And I also saw somebody else lying on the ground, also a bit further from her. She had a red shirt on, was shown in the hospital a couple days after. I don't know if she had some broken bones, but she was in pain. She got hurt, and she was an elderly lady. She was there protesting for peace in a very peaceful fashion. Also, you saw her in the front lines. I thought it was a beautiful thing. Listen, in Ottawa, guys, we've seen protests, but in protests, it's usually age restricted. You see young people protesting. You don't see all the ages together. We saw beautiful grandparents, elderly people that were there protesting with people that were young as 12, 13 years old, that were there at bouncy castles. So, guys, lose my voice here. Got to thank you all for stopping by. Can't thank you enough for the amazing support you give the Cassar. Hi, Bruce from Rosemère. Hey, encore une fois, mon ami de Rosemère. Merci. You going G to the rally tomorrow in Belleuil? Oh, is there a rally in Belleuil? Hey, guys, you're soon going to see me start going out. Vous allez bientôt me voir me déplacer, je pense, pour aller faire des manifestations à Belleuil, hein? Demain, tu dis, hein? Il faudra que je check ça. Si jamais j'irai, ben, j'en parlerai. Tu peux être sûr que je vais mentionner mon ami Elias, parce qu'il va être copartenaire avec moi de guerre, mais que j'aille là-bas. Ah, qu'est-ce que je dis là? Zone parallèle. As-tu vu zone parallèle ici? Bonjour, zone parallèle. Comment ça va, mon ami? Elle est là. Carole. Ben oui, vous allez pouvoir, si vous êtes intéressé dans les ovnis, les amis, allez voir Carole Lauzé à la station de radio pour voir de quoi qu'il parle, parce qu'il parle toujours d'un bon sujet d'ovnis. Un des seuls stations de radio que je vois qui parle de ce sujet. Puis ça, c'est pas des menteries, il n'y a pas personne qui parle de ça. Merci, Zone Parallèle d'être ici. Elle est aussi sur Facebook, si vous voulez aller voir. Carole, Zone Parallèle, tu vas sur Facebook. Puis si vous êtes français, vous allez voir beaucoup de vidéos et d'émissions que vous allez pouvoir voir. Three's Company is funny as shit. Yeah, that's why I was watching it, because I was on a Jamie Walton. Hello to you. Sorry, guys. I'm dying here. Hey, Jamie Walton. You said at the MCC 2106. I'm wishing the best for everyone. And I'm hoping EMCC 2106, what you said, maybe Putin will go and get rid of the Cabal, because we all want to get rid of the Cabal. That's for sure. Of course, NATO's the Cabal. So is UN. We had a UN plane here in Ontario, in Northern Bay. I don't remember where it was, or North Bay. It was here in Ontario, in our country. 2 UN planes landed right before all the people in Ottawa were getting beaten and pepper sprayed by these police officers that did not respect their oath. Have you guys seen the police officer's oath? What they have to sign in Canada to become a police officer? You know, hand raised. I will respect and keep the Charter of Rights and Freedoms for the people and stuff. And the first thing they did on those front lines was to disrespect and to go against the Charter of Rights and Freedoms of the people. So each and every one of those police officers that were there on that line should be arrested. 50% of the Ottawa police force quit, and that wasn't even on the news, because that would have inspired people. Instead of just portraying the police as bad people, they're not. I know there's a very small quantity of the bad ones, except for the ones that we saw, which, by the way, the Ottawa police, it was probably not even Ottawa police. Maybe they had the Ottawa police suits. We saw that crazy policewoman with, I'm not going to mention her name anymore, that was trying to get into businesses, taking pictures inside business. Me, guys, I see a police officer do that on a power trip. 5-10 police officers in front looking at you through the window. You want to punch them right through the bloody window. I'm at the end of seeing the manipulation of what people are going through. And I mean, as a whole, in France, when it started back when the bullshitter ISIS and the idiotic Talibans and stuff started, doing the stupid shit, taking over Afghanistan. Ask Trump how much money they left in Afghanistan, right? How many billions of dollars? Is it 80 billion? Okay, of equipment that they left there that said that they broke the equipment so that they wouldn't be able to use them, and it wasn't true. The next day, we saw the ISIS people trying to fly the helicopters and fueling it. Let's go. The keys are in it. I bet you they even left the instructions on it for them. Pathetic when you think of it. Heading out to take care of horses. We'll try to keep listening. Christy has an amazing channel. I love sending people there. Just a bugger. But her videos on the farm and stuff like that, and the animals, and I think they're pretty cool. Relaxing videos. Got a lot of you have some really cool videos here that we don't always have the time to go and see, but so guys and gals, a great big thank you for each and every comment and contribution and watching my videos. Really greatly appreciate it. Be sure to come back. I'm rushing to the bathroom. I got a lot of those, Christopher. I could go on. You and I could do a 1 hour stand-up Don Rickles sort of themed, definitely stand-up. Come on. Anyways, most likely. Don Rickles, Christopher? Love the guy. As a matter of fact, you know what, Christopher? I never liked you. No, I'm kidding. That's what Don Rickles does when he sees someone, He used to go up to someone in the audience. Lady, you're too old for that dress. It's not long enough. The things that he would say. Hey, buddy, maybe think of getting another suit. Used to love Don Rickles for that. Apparently, nothing he did was prepared. I don't know. But a lot of people didn't know it. It's repetitive. What he does is repetitive, like my work. It's very repetitive. He did the same jokes to other people, to Reagan, to other people. He did the Dean Martin roasts, right? Used to roast people. I don't even know why I know about him. I'm too young to know about him. Because I wanted to be with the Rat Pack. Got Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Don Rickles. Who else? Actually, I'm sorry. No, Don Rickles wasn't part of the Rat Pack, actually. Oliver Klein, real quick. Thanks to everyone for coming out. Uranium, one might be the root of the cause. Yes, of course. Well, did you notice that, was it Russia or Afghanistan, or is it whoever it was? I think it was Afghanistan. They are enriching the uranium because you're not allowed to enrich uranium, right? There's a law, right? With all the countries, there's a certain limitation of the plutonium. And the more you enrich the plutonium, the more dangerous and volatile the nuclear warheads are, obviously. So they're enriching the hell out of the plutonium, which they're not allowed to do, but apparently they are doing that. So that means a nuclear blast, can be far, far stronger than a regular bomb blast, if, of course, the uranium is enriched. Very scary. Yeah, Bradley, sort of does right now, For what they're doing, they definitely do. And, some people, what did I miss, Papu? What I miss? Well, that's about something I said, of course. It's 9:44 now. My gosh, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, I did too, Kellen. I switched off, not YouTube, actually. I'm off Twitter. I'm off Facebook, and I'm never going back. I hope. I went there, it was for family, or I went there to post my music videos, but now I have a music channel. But anyways, Bruce's music, if everyone to, out of curiosity, go to the music channel to see what's going on. So everyone, Paul, thank you. I wasn't able to get to everybody. I need biscuits. I need something. Get really hungry there. The Russian special forces took over this plan Zelensky sent his thugs with a film crew. Yeah, that's another thing, Tony. I'm all for, I hear you on that. And again, like EMCC saying 2106, maybe what Putin's doing is real and he's not. But don't forget, it's a who the hell is doing the residential areas? Who's bombing the building? That was the scariest thing to see. They're using clutter bombs on top of it, which is illegal, right? Which not confirmed, but some of them are confirming it. Who the hell are bombing the residential areas? Of course, Putin said that they're setting up around residential areas. One thing that does sound a little odd is that Ukraine, in a way, sounds like they're trying to put their civilians up as decoys or a diversion or a wall to protect them so they get killed for some reason. I don't think it's necessary for them to have to make pipe bombs, Molotov cocktails, and to have to use that. It's sad. I saw over, it really is a shit show, Bradley. It really is, my friend. You said it, man. And of course, I can never get to everyone. Deb, hello. I'm so sorry for the ones. Hey, Terry, for the ones I did miss. Rubbish, there are several people in Kiev and dumbass, yes, are sending out reports. Yeah. There's several people in Kiev for sure. They say that they're still holding the front of it, that it wasn't invaded. But now, this morning, if I'm not mistaken, they said that Russian tanks were going in. They had 3-day ration of food, those Russian tanks. All I know is there's a shitload of Russian tanks that were hit with panzers, eh? Actually, Panzer, isn't that a German tank? I think I must have been in the war before. Must have been thinking about that. Love Christie to pieces. Russian space director called Biden sanctions the sanctions of Alzheimer's. Yeah, tell me about it. Sanctions, don't worry about it. He'll forget about it in a day. I can just imagine what they're saying over there. Yes, Biden will forget in a day or two. Most likely. It's going to take that the Russian people to stop the war in Ukraine. You're absolutely right. As in rising up and overthrowing Putin. Yes, Terry. And good news, there are a lot of Russian people standing up. So far, from what visually what I'm seeing, it seems there's a lot more Russians against Putin. But I do see a lot of them on the side of the road that are taking a side. But then again, who knows what's going on? They asked them if they believe that there were bombings in Kiev and everything. They did not. What I'm not okay with, as I yawn, excuse me, not that you're boring me, guys. What I'm not okay with is the bloody lies they're telling the people. If someone's getting bombed, I'm seeing it, and I want to know who's doing it. So you understand there's that part of the lie that's not coming out, eh? That's the Italian in me. No, I'm not Italian. Bad boys, what you gonna do? They were playing that EMCC 2106. They were playing that at the Ottawa protests as the cops were facing off, and they were going by with his radio. Bad boys, hey, bad boys. What you do. It was funny. Thank you very much, Bradley. Appreciate that, my friends. Good evening, everyone. Born again Buddhists. Hi and bye, guys. Thanks a lot. Hope everyone's having a harmonious night. Thanks a lot, you guys. Bruce, Europe is going spare as there are going to be food shortages. Yes, there will be. Putin hasn't let loose his sanctions. Oh no, and he hasn't even showed the beginning of what he's going to do. And yeah, food shortages. See, Putin, hey, Sugar Bee. Yes, Putin has money at a time. Putin put money away so that he can be okay when the money grid goes down. If the money grid goes down, lots going on. Ladies and gents, guys, I had an amazing time. I love you all so much for the amazing contributions and support you give this channel. I'm going to do a good video for you all right now. And at the same time, I'll be answering comments tomorrow on the last few videos. So thank you very much for taking the time to leave a comment. Have an amazing evening. Gate Smasher, Stats, Darla, everyone. And thanks so much for the generous contributions, you guys. EMCC 2106, Bradley, everyone here, and all newcomers. Thank you for taking the time to subscribe to the channel, for coming back to watch the next videos. I would greatly appreciate that. Come and connect with the channel and blah, blah, blah. Hit the like button and all the good stuff. Talk to you all very, very soon. Have an amazing evening, guys. I'll be watching the skies.